The gentle hum of the Stargazer's engines filled Commander Elowen Thrace's quarters as she pored over the latest sensor data. Her emerald eyes darted across the holographic display, searching for any anomalies in the sea of information before her. "Computer, magnify Sector 7 Alpha," she commanded, her voice steady despite the growing excitement in her chest. The hologram shifted, revealing a distant star system that pulsed with an odd, rhythmic energy. Elowen leaned in, her brow furrowed. What in the name of? A sharp beep from her comm unit interrupted her thoughts. "Commander Thrace to the bridge, immediately!" Elowen was on her feet in an instant, striding purposefully through the corridors of Earth's most advanced deep space vessel. As the doors to the bridge hissed open, she was greeted by a scene of controlled chaos. "Status report," she barked, sliding into the captain's chair. Lieutenant Kai Nix, her second in command, turned from his station, his dark eyes wide with a mix of fear and awe. "Ma'am, we've detected an unknown vessel approaching at FTL speeds. It's massive!" The main view screen flickered to life, revealing a ship that defied comprehension. It was easily 10 times the size of the Stargazer, its hull a shimmering, almost organic material that seemed to pulse with internal light. "Open a channel," Elowen ordered, her voice calm despite the thundering of her heart. Before Kai could comply, the alien vessel unleashed a barrage of energy pulses. The Stargazer rocked violently, alarms blaring throughout the ship, shields at 60%. Weapons Officer Zara Vex shouted over the din, "They're charging for another volley." Elowen's mind raced. First contact, and it was hostile. Everything humanity had hoped for, peaceful exchange, shared knowledge, was crumbling before her eyes. "Evasive maneuvers," she commanded. "Kai, get us out of here. Maximum warp." The Stargazer's engines roared to life, propelling the ship into the safety of faster-than-light travel. As the stars streaked by outside, Elowen clenched her fists, her knuckles white. "Send a Priority 1 message to Earth Command," she said, her voice low and dangerous. "First contact established. Hostile intent confirmed. Prepare for war." The bridge fell silent, the weight of her words hanging heavy in the air. Humanity had dreamed of this moment for centuries, but none had imagined it would come like this. As the Stargazer raced towards Earth, Elowen couldn't shake the image of that alien ship from her mind. They had shown their weapons without provocation, without attempting communication. Her jaw set in grim resolve. If it was a fight they wanted, then by God, it was a fight they would get. "Kai," she said, breaking the tense silence. "Begin compiling all sensor data on that ship. Weapons, defenses, energy signatures. I want to know everything." "Aye, Commander," Kai replied, his fingers flying over his console. Elowen turned to Zara. "Run combat simulations. I want options for every scenario you can think of." As her crew sprang into action, Elowen stared out at the streaking stars. The aliens had made a grave mistake. They might have superior technology, but they had underestimated the human spirit. And if there was one thing Elowen knew, it was that humanity didn't go down without a fight. "They showed their weapons," she murmured, her eyes glinting with determination. "Now we'll show them what happens when you provoke the sleeping giant of Earth." Little did Elowen know, this was just the beginning. The galaxy was about to learn a harsh lesson. When pushed, humanity pushes back harder. The war room of Earth's United Defense Command buzzed with frantic energy. Holograms flickered, displaying tactical data and grim-faced officers from around the globe. At the center of it all stood Admiral Rorik Stormwind, his weathered face a mask of concentration. "The Zephyrins have agreed to a diplomatic meeting," he announced, his gravelly voice cutting through the chatter. "Commander Thrace, you'll lead the delegation." Elowen nodded, her jaw set. It had been 6 months since the Stargazer's encounter, and humanity had been on high alert ever since. The aliens, who called themselves the Zephyrins, had made no further aggressive moves, but neither had they explained their initial attack. "With all due respect, Admiral," Elowen said, "why now? Why agree to talk after months of silence?" Rorik's eyes narrowed. "That's what you're going to find out, Commander. Trust your instincts, but be prepared for anything." 48 hours later, Elowen found herself aboard the neutral station Harmony, a joint human-Centaurian outpost in unclaimed space. Her small team included Kai, Zara, and Dr. Lyra Novak, Earth's foremost xenobiologist. As they waited in the Stark conference room, Elowen couldn't shake a sense of unease. something felt off. The doors hissed open, and 3 Zephyrins glided in. Their bodies were vaguely humanoid, but composed of swirling, iridescent mists contained within form-fitting suits. The lead Zephyrin, taller than the others, approached. "I am Nixthal, emissary of the Zephyrin Conclave," it said, its voice a melodious hum that seemed to vibrate the air itself. "We come seeking, understanding." Elowyn steeled herself. "I am Commander Elowyn Thrace of Earth. You'll forgive us if we find your desire for understanding a bit late. Your unprovoked attack." "A regrettable misunderstanding," Nixthal interrupted, its misty form rippling. "We mistook your vessel for that of our ancient enemies, the Void Horde. We come now to make amends and to seek alliance." Lyra leaned in, whispering urgently, "Commander, their biochemical readings are erratic. I don't think." Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the station. Kai's comm unit crackled to life. "Commander, multiple Zephyrin ships decloaking. They're charging weapons." Elowyn's blood ran cold. She lunged for her sidearm, but Nixthal was faster. A tendril of mist shot out, wrapping around her throat. "Foolish humans," Nixthal hissed, all pretense of diplomacy gone. "Did you really think we'd come to make peace?" Chaos erupted. Zara managed to fire off a shot, disrupting Nixthal's form momentarily. Elowyn gasped for air, her mind racing. They'd been set up, lured into a trap. "Run," she croaked to her team. "Warn Earth." As they fled the conference room, the station rocked with explosions. Emergency bulkheads slammed shut, sealing off sections. Elowyn and Kai found themselves separated from Zara and Lyra. "The shuttle bay," Elowyn wheezed, her throat still raw. "It's our only chance." They fought their way through panicked crowds and failing systems. As they reached the bay, a chilling sight greeted them. Zephyrin soldiers were herding humans and Centaurians into strange, glowing pods. "My God," Kai breathed. "They're not here to conquer. They're harvesting us." Elowyn's eyes hardened. "Not if I have anything to say about it. Come on." They managed to commandeer a small courier ship, blasting out of the disintegrating station just as the Zephyrin fleet opened fire. As they punched to FTL, Elowyn saw dozens of Zephyrin ships peeling off, heading towards Earth. "Kai, set course for home," she ordered, her voice dripping with cold fury, "and power up all weapon systems." "Commander?" Kai looked at her, confused. Elowyn's eyes blazed with a dangerous light. "They came in peace, offering friendship. Instead, they betrayed us, tried to enslave us. Well, 2 can play at that game." As the stars streaked by, Elowyn made a solemn vow. The Zephyrins thought they'd outsmarted humanity, but they'd learn. Oh, they'd learn. "They showed their true colors," she growled. "Now we'll show them why you never cross the human race." Little did the Zephyrins know, their act of betrayal had just ignited a firestorm that would consume the galaxy. Humanity was done playing nice. The gloves were coming off, and mercy was no longer an option. The skies above Earth blazed with the fury of war. Zephyrin ships rained destruction upon major cities, their energy weapons carving swaths of devastation across the planet. But humanity was far from defeated. Commander Elowyn Thrace stood on the bridge of the newly christened battlecruiser Nemesis, her eyes hard as steel as she surveyed the chaos. Earth's defenses had been caught off guard, but they were rapidly adapting. "Status report," she barked, her voice carrying over the din of battle stations. Lieutenant Kai Nix, looking haggard but determined, responded from his tactical station. "Earth's orbital defense grid is at 60% capacity. Ground-based ion cannons are coming online. The Zephyrins are taking heavy losses, but they're still pushing through." Elowyn nodded grimly. "And Project Prometheus?" A ghost of a smile flickered across Kai's face. "Ready for deployment, Commander." "Then it's time we showed these bastards what humanity is truly capable of," Elowyn growled. "All ships, this is Commander Thrace. Execute Operation Firestorm. I repeat, execute Operation Firestorm." Across Earth's orbit, hundreds of seemingly dormant satellites suddenly burst to life. Each one unfolded, revealing a compact but devastatingly powerful plasma cannon. The Zephyrins, caught completely by surprise, found themselves caught in a crossfire of unprecedented magnitude. But that was just the beginning. "Nemesis actual to all ships," Elowyn's voice rang out across the fleet channels. "Deploy Fenris warheads. Target their command ships." From the bowels of Earth's defenders sprang forth a new kind of missile. As they streaked towards the Zephyrin fleet, they seemed to phase in and out of reality. effortlessly bypassing shields and point defense systems. The resulting explosions were like nothing the galaxy had ever seen. Zephyrin ships were torn apart not just by the physical force, but by localized rifts in space-time itself. Entire squadrons vanished into newly formed microsingularities, their anguished cries cut short by the vacuum of space. On the Nemesis's main view screen, Elowin watched with grim satisfaction as the tide of battle turned. The Zephyrin fleet, so confident in its superiority, was being systematically dismantled. "They thought we were weak," she said, her voice low and dangerous. "They thought we'd roll over and accept enslavement. Well, now they're learning the price of underestimating humanity." As the battle raged on, reports flooded in from across the globe. Humanity's ground forces, armed with reverse-engineered Zephyrin tech, were pushing back the invaders. In the streets of New York, Tokyo, and Lagos, civilians fought alongside soldiers, their fierce determination a match for any alien weapon. But Elowin knew the fight was far from over. "Kai, status on the Zephyrin homeworld?" Kai's fingers danced over his console. "We've cracked their navigational database, Commander. We have coordinates for their central hive planet." A predatory smile spread across Elowin's face. "Excellent. Transmit those coordinates to all available ships. It's time we took this fight to them." As the remnants of the Zephyrin invasion force fled Earth's orbit, pursued by vengeful human warships, Elowin felt a mix of pride and sorrow. The cost had been high, millions dead, great cities in ruins, but humanity had proven its mettle. "Set course for the Zephyrin homeworld," she ordered, her voice filled with iron resolve. "They came to our home, tried to destroy everything we hold dear. Now we'll show them the true meaning of retribution." The Nemesis's engines flared to life, leading a massive armada of Earth ships towards a distant star system. As they entered FTL, Elowin's thoughts turned to the battles ahead. The Zephyrins had awakened a sleeping giant, and now they would face the full, terrible wrath of a united human race. "They showed their weapons," Elowin murmured, her eyes glinting with fierce determination. "Now we'll show them that humanity doesn't just survive, we conquer." As the fleet surged through the cosmos, a new chapter in galactic history was about to be written. The Zephyrins had sown the wind with their betrayal. Now they would reap the whirlwind of humanity's vengeance. The once pristine skies of Zephyra Prime burned. Earth's retribution fleet, led by the imposing silhouette of the Nemesis, had arrived with devastating efficiency. Commander Elowin Thrace stood at the helm, her face illuminated by the fires of a dying world. "Status report," she demanded, her voice cold and sharp as a blade. Lieutenant Kai Nix, his eyes reflecting the inferno below, responded grimly. "Zephyrin defenses are crumbling, Commander. Their orbital platforms have been neutralized, and ground-based resistance is scattered and disorganized." Elowin nodded, a mirthless smile playing at her lips. "And the hive mind nexus?" "Located and targeted," Kai confirmed, awaiting your order to deploy the Odin device. For a moment, Elowin hesitated. The Odin, omnidirectional intelligence nullifier, was humanity's ultimate weapon against the Zephyrins. It would sever their collective consciousness, reducing the once mighty civilization to mindless, mist-like entities. "Commander," a new voice cut in. Dr. Lyra Novak, who had survived the Harmony Station incident, approached with a worried expression. "Are we certain this is the right course of action?" The galactic community stood by while Earth burned. Elowin snapped, her eyes flashing. "They left us to die, Lyra. Now they'll see what happens when humanity is pushed too far." Before Lyra could respond, the ship's AI chimed in. "Commander, incoming transmission from the Galactic Conclave. They're demanding we cease our attack immediately." Elowin's laugh was harsh and bitter. "Oh, now they want to talk. Put them through." The main view screen flickered to life, revealing a panel of diverse alien species. At the center sat High Arbiter Zexlorn, his crystalline form pulsing with agitation. "Commander Thrace," Zexlorn's voice resonated through the bridge. "You must halt this madness. The Zephyrins have been subdued. Further violence will only—" "Further violence!" Elowin roared, her composure finally cracking. "Where was your concern when they attacked Earth? When they tried to harvest our people?" Zexlorn flinched visibly. We were unaware of the full extent." "Bullshit." Elowin slammed her fist on the console. "You knew. You all knew. But you did nothing because it wasn't your worlds burning. Well, now you get to watch and learn what happens when you ignore humanity's pleas for help. She turned to Kai, her voice dripping with cold fury. Deploy the Odin, full spectrum. Commander, please, Zexlorn pleaded. Think of the consequences. This will destabilize the entire sector. Elowin's eyes were like ice as she faced the screen once more. You should have thought of that before you left us to fend for ourselves. Humanity tried to be peaceful. We extended the hand of friendship to the stars. And how were we repaid? With betrayal and fire. She leaned forward, her voice dropping to a dangerous whisper. So now you get to see what we're really capable of. Let this be a lesson to the entire galaxy. Cross humanity at your own peril. The view screen went dark as Elowin cut the transmission. Moments later, the Odin device activated. A wave of energy, invisible but all-consuming, washed over Zephyra Prime. The collective scream of billions of Zephyran minds being torn apart reverberated through space itself. As the energy dissipated, an eerie silence fell over the fleet. The once mighty Zephyran civilization had been reduced to mindless mists, their grand cities now nothing more than elaborate tombs. Elowin stood motionless, the weight of what she'd done settling on her shoulders. But there was no regret in her eyes, only grim resolve. Set course for Earth, she ordered, her voice steady. Our work here is done. As the Nemesis and its fleet prepared to depart, news of humanity's actions spread like wildfire across the galaxy. Fear, awe, and outrage rippled through countless alien civilizations. The balance of power had shifted irrevocably. Humanity, once seen as a fledgling race barely worth notice, had announced its presence on the galactic stage with a display of power and ruthlessness that couldn't be ignored. As Elowin's fleet journeyed home, the stars themselves seemed to tremble. The message was clear. Humanity was done being the galaxy's punching bag. A new era had dawned, and at its forefront stood a species that had learned a harsh lesson. In the cold vastness of space, mercy was a luxury they could no longer afford. The grand chamber of the galactic conclave hummed with tension. Representatives from 1,000 worlds shifted uneasily in their seats, their eyes fixed on the lone figure standing at the center of the room. Commander Elowin Thrace, now Admiral of Earth's interstellar fleet, stood tall, her presence radiating an aura of barely contained power. Members of the conclave, Elowin's voice rang out, clear and unwavering. You've summoned me here to answer for humanity's actions, but I stand before you not as a defendant, but as an equal. Murmurs rippled through the assembly. High Arbiter Zixlorn leaned forward, his crystalline form pulsing with a mix of fear and curiosity. Admiral Thrace, surely you understand the gravity of what you've done? The Zephyran civilization. The Zephyran civilization chose its fate, Elowin cut in, her eyes flashing. They attacked us without provocation, attempted to enslave our people. We defended ourselves. But the Odin device, a Vulcaran representative chittered nervously. Such technology, it's unprecedented, dangerous. Elowin's smile was razor-sharp. Indeed it is, as is every other weapon in humanity's arsenal. Weapons we developed because the galaxy left us no choice. She began to pace, her gaze sweeping across the assembled aliens. For too long, humanity extended the hand of friendship only to be met with betrayal or indifference. We sought peace, but found ourselves alone in a hostile universe. That's not true, a Centaurian diplomat protested. We've always what? Elowin's voice cracked like a whip. Stood by while other races targeted us, offered empty platitudes while our colonies burned? No more. She reached into her pocket and pulled out a small, unassuming device. The entire chamber seemed to hold its breath. This, Elowin said softly, is a quantum entanglement trigger. With one press, I could activate Odin devices hidden throughout key systems across the galaxy. Panic erupted. Several representatives leapt to their feet, shouting in various languages. Zexlorn's voice cut through the chaos. You're bluffing. You couldn't possibly. Can you afford to take that chance? Elowin's voice was deadly calm. You've seen what we're capable of. You know what lengths we'll go to in order to survive. Silence fell, heavy and oppressive. Elowin continued, her words measured. But that's not why I'm here. I'm here to offer you a choice. She pocketed the device, her eyes scanning the room. Humanity doesn't want to rule the galaxy. We don't seek conquest or domination. What we want is respect, and a guarantee that what happened to Earth will never happen again to any peaceful world. Elowen's posture softened slightly, a hint of the diplomat she once was shining through. We're prepared to share our advancements, our medical breakthroughs, our FTL innovations, even some of our defensive technologies. In exchange, we ask for two things: a seat on this conclave and a binding agreement of mutual defense. The chamber erupted in furious debate. Hours passed as representatives argued, negotiated, and slowly came to terms with the new reality. As the dust settled, Zexlorn approached Elowen, his crystalline form dimmed with exhaustion. "It seems," he said quietly, "that we have much to learn from humanity. Your proposal has been accepted." Elowen nodded, allowing herself a small smile. "Then let this mark the beginning of a new era, one of true cooperation and shared strength." As she prepared to depart, Elowen felt the weight of countless eyes upon her. She had come to the conclave prepared for war, but left having secured a fragile peace. The galaxy would never be the same, but perhaps, just perhaps, it could be better. Boarding her shuttle, Elowen gazed out at the stars. Humanity had proven its mettle, shown the galaxy both its wrath and its potential for greatness. The path ahead was uncertain, fraught with challenges and opportunities in equal measure. But one thing was clear. The universe now knew that when pushed, humanity didn't just push back. They reshaped the very fabric of galactic society. As her shuttle accelerated towards the waiting nemesis, Elowen allowed herself a moment of reflection. They had shown their weapons, and humanity had shown no mercy. But in the aftermath of fire and retribution, a new dawn was breaking. And this time, humanity would face it not as victims or outcasts, but as architects of their own destiny. The stars seemed to burn brighter as Elowen whispered a final thought. "They sought to break us, instead we remade the galaxy.